for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but two heart-pounding matches delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
Is exactly at the top of the hour. Welcome to our broadcast on this, the 9th of January 2024. My name is Abdiaziz. Hashim, my co-anchor this afternoon is Susan Thukuya. Just in time for the latest in the world of current affairs, business as well as sports. And I want to take you live to the corridors of the Augusta House, where I do understand a section of Azimio MPs as well as Kenya Kwanza MPs together, which is a rarity, are currently addressing members of the Fourth Estate. So let's get to listen in to what the legislators are saying.
It is also important to note that by last year, through our speaker, the government gave commitment that CDF funds will have been fully released by 20th of December. And there was an official communication by our speaker to that effect. It is clear that they misled our speaker, they misled the National Assembly, and they misled the people. And that's unfortunate. Secondly, there's a CDF memo dated 4th January 2024, and members of the press might be aware of this. This CDF memo was directed to all CDF account managers countrywide. It was directing them that money cannot be released because there were certain amendments to the CDF Act, as a result of which they were supposed to recall the proposals that they had made and redo it and resubmit it. We want to say categorically that in our opinion, that memo is misguided, it's unlawful, and it is improper, and it must be withdrawn. The first reason is, yes, there were certain amendments to the CDF Act towards the end of last year, actually in the months of November going to December. Those amendments essentially affected only two things. They affected the question of sports and the question of the Constituency Oversight Committee. In our opinion, the material date that must be applied is 1st July 2023, when the financial year begins. And the law as at that date is the law that must apply to CDF until we get to 1st July 2024. As of that date, there were no amendments. So to issue a memo purporting you cannot issue CDF funds because of amendments in December 2023 is mischievous, is misleading, and it's unlawful. In any event, that would amount to what in law we call retroactivity. No law ever operates behind. It operates going forward. And if it's to operate behind, it must be expressly stated. The amendments and the Act does not purport to say that they will take effect from 1st July 2023. Secondly, even if that argument was to be believed, those amendments only affect sports and the Constituency Oversight Committee, which is just about 6% or so of the overall allocation of CDF. If that was true, they'd have released the 94% of CDF and indicated that they will withhold the 6% pending adjustment. They cannot withhold or return the entire proposal on that account. Thirdly and lastly, if that argument was true, then it would mean they cannot disburse any money. How then is it that we are getting statements saying they've disbursed certain amounts of money? Either you can disburse or you cannot disburse. You cannot say I cannot disburse, then on the other hand you say I've disbursed a certain amount of money. So our position is clear that that memo must be withdrawn. The CDF funds must be released. Way forward. As a bipartisan team comprising all members of the House from both sides, we demand that the entire allocation of CDF must be released within 7 days as is due. And if that is not done...
Well, that is a joint briefing between the Azimio MPs as well as Kenya Kwanza MPs. It's all about the National Government Constituency Development Fund. They are clearly stating that the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, was, of course, waylaid in terms of the disbursement of the fund. It was supposed to be allocated by the 20th of December 2023. That has not been the case. The MPs together in that particular joint presser have given the Treasury 7 days to release those particular funds. And of course, another unfortunate story that we're keeping tabs on is that 15 people have died in an accident involving a bus and a 14-seater matatu along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway. Now, the accident that occurred at 2:45 a.m. on Tuesday at the Twin Bridge area involved the bus from Classic Kings of Congo as well as a Northern Ways shuttle Toyota matatu. Now, according to the police, 38 people escaped the crash unhurt. Now, police from Mau Summit responded promptly and as well as assisting in transferring the injured individuals to the Molo Sub-County Hospital. Now, motorists have been urged to exercise caution on the road to prevent loss of life. That is another story that we're keeping tabs on this lovely afternoon. But let's head over to Eldoret. I do understand that President William Ruto is currently leading the Affordable Housing Initiative project in that particular devolved unit. Let's get to listen to what the President is saying.
Jambo la tatu tulisema lazima tupange ajira ya vijana wetu. Tuko na vijana wengi wamemaliza shule, wako na certificate, wako na diploma, wako na madigrii, lakini ajira imekosekana. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tunaelewana? Na ndio nimesema ya kwamba sisi ambao tuko na nafasi ya kazi, mimi nimeajiriwa na nyinyi. Hao wabunge mmewaajiri. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Wengine tumewaajiri wanafanya kazi ndani ya serikali. Wengine mumewaajiri wanafanya kazi mahakamani. Wengine mumewaajiri wanafanya vitengo zingine. Sisi ambao tuko na nafasi ya ajira, ni jukumu letu kuhakikisha kwamba hawa watoto wetu wamemaliza shule, wako na certificate, diploma na degree, hata na wao wanapata nafasi ya ajira. Sijui kama tunaelewana jameni. Tuko pamoja? Na nilienda kwa uchaguzi nikawaambia wa Kenya ya kwamba tutakuwa na program ya housing ili kupanga ajira ya vijana wetu. Hii program ya housing tunataka itupatie nafasi 1,000,000 ya hawa vijana kufanya kazi. Saa hii hapa katika hii site tuko na vijana 600 wanafanya kazi hapa. Na imeanza tu peke yake. Kufikia wiki ijayo, mwezi ujao, mwezi huo mwingine watu zaidi ya 3,000 watakuwa wanafanya kazi hapa. Ninyi mnanielewa? Nimetoka site ya Kidiwa. Kule vijana 600 wanafanya kazi saa hizi. Kule Kidiwa tunataka hiyo manyumba yote mzee ilijengwa karibu miaka 60 iliyopita. Hiyo Kidiwa yote tutalalisha chini. Tuwe na ekari 50, tujenge nyumba ya ghorofa 10, ghorofa 15. Ndio tuweze kubadilisha hii dunia. Hapa Eldoret mpango yetu ni kujenga nyumba 20,000 na tunahitaji vijana 40,000, 50,000 watakaofanya kazi hiyo. Vijana wa Eldoret mko tayari? Vijana wa Eldoret mko tayari? Tuko pamoja? Na isha ajira 1,000,000 kwa vijana wa Kenya kupitia hii program ya housing. Na hii program ya housing sio wale wanafanya kazi hapa peke yake ndio wako na nafasi. Hapa tuko na chuma hii. Chuma inatengenezwa kwenye kampuni. Wale wako kampuni huko wanapata kazi, wanatutengenezea chuma, inatransportiwa na wengine, inafika hapa, tunaifanyia kazi. Wale wako huko kwa factory ya chuma wanapata kazi. Wale wako transport wanapata kazi. Wale wanafanya hapa wanapata kazi. Hii simiti tunatumia hapa. Kule kwa factory kuna wale wanafanya kazi, factory wanapata ajira. Wale wana transport wanapata ajira. Wale wanafanya kazi hapa wanapata ajira. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Hii mawe tunatumia hapa, kuna wale wanafanya kule kwa kampuni ya Kwari wanapata ajira, wale wengine wanatransport, wanatengeneza kokoto, wanatutengenezea mawe, inafika hapa inaajiri watu wengine, masons na wale wengine. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Hapa tuko na nafasi ya carpenters, hapa tuko na nafasi ya masons, hapa tuko na nafasi ya technicians, hapa tuko na nafasi ya plumbers, hapa tuko na nafasi ya wale watu wa stima, hapa tuko na nafasi ya architects ambao wametuchorea hizi manyumba, hapa tuko na nafasi ya maengineer. Hawa watu wote watafanya kazi katika hii sekta. Hii sekta ndio itatupatia nafasi nyingi, karibu 1,000,000 ya ajira ya watu wa Kenya. Mnataka hii kazi iendelee ama mnataka ikwame? Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa hapa Pioneer, nataka mniambie ukweli. Kuna watu wengine wameenda kotini ati wanataka hii kazi isimame. Mnataka hii kazi ikwame ama iendelee? Si kuna vijana wanafanya kazi hapa saa hizi? Wale vijana mnafanya kazi hapa saa hizi, tuweke mkono juu nione kwa mkono. Hapa tayari tuko na vijana karibu 600 wanafanya kazi hii. Kufikia another 2-3 weeks, 1 month, vijana 1,000 watakuwa hapa. Kufikia miezi mingine 2 hii nyumba yote ikiamuka, vijana 3,000, vijana 4,000 watakuwa wanafanya kazi hapa. Hii kazi mnataka iendelee ama mnataka vijana wetu wakae huko wapige ngeta? Si kazi iendelee ama mnasemaje? Mimi nataka niwaulize, katiba ya Kenya sehemu ya 43 inasema Wakenya hawa obligate government of Kenya, serikali ya Kenya lazima ipange vile wananchi wataishi katika makao yenye iko na heshima, iko na maji, iko na stima na ni mahali ambapo iko na dignity. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Katiba ya Kenya inasema. Tulienda kwa uchaguzi tukaweka manifesto program ya housing. Mimi nimeenda bunge imepitisha sheria ya housing. Alafu watu 2 watatu wanaenda kotini ati wanaenda kusimamisha. Hapana. Hiyo ni mchezo mbaya sana. Ama namna gani? Yaani sasa mnasema tusimamishe hii kazi. Hawa watu wanafanya hii kazi. Wale wanafanya katika factory ya chuma, wale wanafanya katika factory ya simiti, wale wanafanya huko Kwari, transporters wako hapa katikati, architects, wale technicians, wale electricians, wale wengine wote, ati tuwatoe ati kwa sababu watu 2 watatu wameenda kotini ati kuzuia hii maneno. Hiyo mchezo wawache. Ama namna gani jameni? Tunakubaliana watu wa Eldoret? Hii kazi iendelee ama isiendelee? Wala wanasema hii kazi iendelee, nione kwa mkono. Basi. Katiba inasema mulipigia kura manifesto ambayo inasema, sheria ya bunge imepitishwa inasema hivyo. Wale wanapinga hii maneno wajipange. Ama namna gani? Tuko pamoja? Na mimi nataka niwaambie wale wanapinga hii kazi, kwa sababu hii kazi imechelewa. Watu wengi wananiuliza, mbona wewe unasukuma hii kazi sana? Hii kazi nasukuma sana kwa sababu imechelewa. Nchi zile zingine ambazo zilifanya hii mpango ya housing ilifanya miaka 50 iliyopita. Ni mnanielewa? So we are already late. So we have no time to waste. There is no room for sabotage. This program is not stoppable. This program is unstoppable. Ama namna gani jameni? Tuko pamoja? Wananchi mnasema ama mna ati kuna mtu mwingine ati wananiambia kotini.
Now, we do apologize for that technical glitch. Is the president addressing in Eldoret, Busia County in terms of drumming up support for his affordable housing project. The president's itinerary started with the launch of the construction of Kidiwa affordable housing program in Soy constituency, then later on launch of the construction of the Pioneer affordable housing program in Kapseret constituency. That is where the president was currently addressing, and of course later on he will be in Eldoret 64 Market Turbo constituency. That is the itinerary, and of course we'll duly inform you in our subsequent bulletins. Now let's continue with our stories this afternoon. Is that celebrations entered a day 2 in different parts of the country on Tuesday A day after the release of the 2023 KCSE exams results by Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, more KCSE top performers are in the meantime expressing their joy and hope to be able to pursue careers of their choice at leading universities in the country and abroad. Here's Joseph Wahungu with the details.
It was song and dance at Emitiot village in Sotik constituency as parents and neighbors celebrated one of their daughters, Diana Chepkemoi, who excelled in the 2023 KCSE examinations. According to the exam results released Monday by the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, Diana Chepkemoi, who was a student at Kipsigis Girls High School in Isiolo County, garnered a straight A with 81 points. Grace Mweni and Agnes Wambua are also celebrating having scored A plain and A minus respectively after sitting exams at Kathiani Girls and Caring Heart Secondary Schools respectively.
I got an A and I thank God for that. And what I'll encourage my younger sisters and brothers still in school is that they work hard, put God first, and believe in themselves.
God has enabled me to achieve my target grade, and now I will be able to pursue my dream career, which is medicine.
Meanwhile, KBC also caught up with Miriam Muthoki Kitonga, who scored A- in KCSE. She says her dream is to pursue medicine at the University of Nairobi after braving financial challenges to finish secondary school at St. Joseph's Kibwezi.
Nikaitwa National School, Matuga Girls, Kwale County. And then watu wenye nakutana na wao tu juu wanaona tu hali nyumbani. You are advising me niende tu shule local, niende tu village school. And that thing was paining me so much.
Finally, teachers and students at Vine Spring Girls Secondary School in Ruai also expressed their joy with 98 KCSE candidates from the school set to join university. The school's director, John Mwangi, is asking the government to provide funding for needy students to pursue their studies.
Implementations that are being made by the government through the Ministry of Education, we are happy, and it is giving us a good level playing ground between the government schools and the private schools. So we are happy, and together we are going to continue supporting the government as they support the private schools.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
Still with the outcome of the 2023 KCSE results, when the 2023 KCSE results were released Monday morning by the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu in Eldoret, Eric Mashara, who emerged as the top candidate at Moi High School Mbirore in Embu County, was busy assisting his parents to pick tea leaves in their farm, as it has been the norm since he completed school last year. Now, Mashara scored an A plane of 84 points and was over the moon after getting wind of what he had achieved.
While highlighting the challenges faced by Busia County residents, the Chief Magistrate Busia High Court, Edna Nyilote, pointed out the lack of judicial infrastructure as one of the impediments in accessing justice.
We've been told people are traveling far distances, like the people who come from.
This is Eric Mashara, a KCSE 2023 candidate, picking tea leaves at his parents' farm in Embu County. This has been his routine since he completed Form 4 last year. However, the young man was oblivious to what was happening across the country shortly after the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu announced the 2023 KCSE results. Mashara was unaware that he had emerged as the top candidate at Moi High School Mbirore and in Embu County at large. Teachers at the national school saw on the NEC portal that Mashara was among the 1,216 candidates who had scored a mean grade of A.
I was not expecting the results to come today. Nilikuwa nachuna majani, nilikuwa nasaidia wazazi wangu huku. Alafu nikaenda nikaangalia, nikasikia results za leo. Nilikuwa nasikia Machogu anataka kuongea leo. Alafu nikakuta kuna miss call ya mwalimu. Alikuwa mwalimu alikuwa amepiga mara 4. So mama alikuwa amechukua simu, so akaenda akachukua. Nikajua hapa kuna kitu inaweza kuwa. Maybe I've got a good grade.
Nashukuru Mungu kwa zile results za mtoto wangu amepita, akona a green A. Hii habari nilishika nikiwa nachuna majani. Nikatokea nikashukuru Mungu.
They tried to reach out to the family, but their efforts were futile until Masharia's mother went back to the house briefly and found that she had 4 missed calls on her phone from the school principal.
Sasa ndio nimeanza kufurahia, and then mama akakuja akapiga simu, ndio akakuta saa she has got that, mwalimu amempigia alafu akamwambia I've got a very good grade, and I was very happy. In fact, I jumped up, kafurahia sana. I had very good teachers who kept encouraging me. From the first moment that I got into that school, I scored very good grades, and they took that opportunity to help me to exploit my full potential. And that's why I got a good grade. And also my friends.
Masharia's elated mother, shortly after learning the milestone her son has achieved, ran to the farm to inform her son of the good news.
Toka akiwa mtoto mdogo alikuwa mtiifu, hana mambo mengi. Kitu ikikozekana ananiambia tu mam, wacha tuendelee na kungangana, Mungu atatubariki. Na ni kweli Mungu ametubariki, ametufikisha pali tuko.
The 18-year-old boy from a humble background from Kenga location in Manyata constituency said his dream of proceeding to secondary school almost got cut short after several of his scholarship applications failed until a week before the admission date when he secured one from Cooperative Bank. The school principal, Patrick Nderitu, had nothing but praises for the boy, who he termed as a disciplined and a hard-working person.
Maisha yake amekuwa kijana ambaye anafanya kazi sana. Ni kijana alikuwa na shida nyingi kutoka nyumbani, lakini ni kijana alikuwa anajikakamua. Na kila subject alifanya alipata A. Na hiyo tunafurahia sana. Kwa sababu he is from the community. He was a very disciplined boy, and so he is a good example to others.
Nimefurahi sana leo kutoka results zitoke, na nikafurahi sana kama mwenyeji wa Ruguru Ngandore kuona mtoto wetu anaitwa Eric Masharia amepata A kwa kila subject.
Masharia, whose dream of becoming a medical doctor, attributed his success to hard work, discipline, and support from his parents and teachers. The school had produced 8 straight A's, 20 A-, 32 B+, and 42 B plain from the results analyzed from the NEC portal. Well, congratulations are in order for that young man and all the candidates who are able to sit for the KCSE 2023 Soldier On. And of course, so this unfortunate story that we started off with our bulletin this afternoon is that 15 people have died in an accident involving a bus and a 14-seater matatu along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway. The accident that occurred at 2:45 a.m. on Tuesday at the Twin Bridge area involved a bus from Classic Kings of Congo and a Northways shuttle Toyota matatu. Now, according to the police, 38 people escaped the crash unhurt. Now, police from Mau Summit responded promptly, assisting in transferring the injured individuals to the Molo Sub-County Hospital. Now, motorists have been urged to exercise caution on the road to prevent loss of life. Also, a National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has defended President William Ruto over the perceived friction between the judiciary over the ruling on the housing levy and orders halting the rolling out of the new healthcare system. On his side, Kitui East, a Member of Parliament Nimrod Mbai, wants timelines for the determination of court cases on government policies introduced to tame delays in service delivery and loss of public resources.
National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah says the Kenya Kwanza administration will adhere to the orders issued by the courts. While defending President William Ruto's sentiments of alleged corrupt judicial officials, the Kikuyu lawmaker who spoke in Lusigeti Hospital in Kikuyu, Kiambu County, however, sustained the onslaught on alleged corrupt judicial officials, saying they were out to sabotage government programs.
Wale ambao wanahujumu hii program ya universal health coverage ni wale makatel ambao wamekuwa wakinufaika na wizi kwa NHIF, na ndio hawataki mabadiliko kwa NHIF ili waendelee kupora mali ya umma. Lakini tunataka tuulize mahakama, sababu wanatumia mambo ya hongo kwenda kuhongana ili wapate order za kusitisha miradi ambayo inakuja kusaidia mamilioni ya wananchi.
At the same time, he rubbished the calls by the Azimio coalition leaders of going back to the streets.
Najua kumekuwa na porojo mingi, karo itaongezwa sababu capitation haiendi kwa shule. Sasa hata sio kukanusha, ni kusema sababu fedha zishaenda, hamna wasiwasi ya kuwa karo zitaenda juu sababu capitation ya mashule haijaenda.
Elsewhere, Kitui East Member of Parliament Nimrod Mbai now demands the timeless for the determination of court cases on government policies introduced to tame delays in service delivery akin to a presidential petition. Mbai proposes to introduce a bill in Parliament that will see a maximum of 14 days for hearing and determination of any case touching on both county and national government policies.
The bill will also have a proposal for a special court for these government policies touching on Mwananchi, touching the service of Mwananchi on serious issues. Look at the Finance Act 2023-2024. It's now in court. Implementing it is a challenge.
Giverson Minor, Lunchtime News.
Now, still on the political front, Muslim clerics in Isiolo County have appealed to political leaders to exercise restraint and respect for each other amid verbal attacks between two politicians, the former and the incumbent woman representative. Now led by the Secretary General of Waso Ulama Haj Mohamed Okile, the religious leaders noted that the trend of using abusive words towards each other was against the teachings of Islam. He called on the leaders and their supporters to have tolerance towards each other.
So tukasema lazim tuketi pamoja tueleze wa leaders wetu na wafasi wao pia sisi kutukanana kwa mkutano ama kuaibishana kati yetu, hiyo kitu haikubaliki katika Uislamu. Na tunahimiza community yetu hii mambo mustop, watu wasitukane kati yao, leaders wetu waendelee na shughuli zao na criticism ikue, yani positive criticism, mali ambaye kama kuna shida leaders naelezwa wasaidie watu.
Na pia mnaonesha watu mfano mbaya, na Uislamu anataka watu naoneshana mfano mzuri, wengine wanaiga juu yake. Lakini kama mfano ya matusi na yeye mnaigana juu yake, basi umma wale mnaongoza naye itaribika.
Na lengo kubwa ya ulama kukutana ni kukashifu na kulaani haya maneno. Ikiendelea italeta uhasama baina ya jamii, italeta vita na sio Uislamu. Vile wanafanya ni nidhamu ambayo itaharibu watu wale ambao wanakuja nyuma yao.
Now, a section of Masai Mara National Reserve Management Committee has defended the county government over accusations of alleged mismanagement of resources as claimed by the area Senator Ledama Olekina. Now, the members of the committee, led by Michael Koikai, Edward Nchoe and Kituyo Olentuni, have dismissed claims that the locals were being unfairly treated as a result of increased park fees. The members said the county was just implementing the new management plan and that the rates were increased as per the current status of the economy.
Tourists are supposed to pay $200. During the low season, tourists will be charged $100. Mark you, this is a prime wildlife area in this country, and you know, for a person to visit, he needs to equally pay an amount that is commensurate to what is coming to experience in the Mara.
Na uchumi yetu ya Kenya sasa iko juu, na lazima pia county government pia waweke maneno yao juu, na ile hiyo kujulisha wananchi amejulisha, na tumekubaliana na county government kulingana hiyo barasa county government anafanya public participation. County assembly pia ilipitisha na alikubali na pia was gazetted na hajapinga wakati imekuwa gazetted.
Kwa hivyo wananchi sasa walikuwa wanalipwa
1,200 na sasa hivi wanapata 800,000 kwa ajili ya hii interaction ya county na hawa.
27 minutes past the hour. That takes us to a first commercial break on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more for you on the other side of the break.
Usalama barabarani ni jukumu letu sote. Usiwaletee wanaokupenda majonzi bila sababu. Uwe dereva au uwe unatembea barabarani kwa miguu, fuata sheria zote za barabarani ili kujiepusha na ajali. Usalama barabarani unaanza na wewe. Ujumbe huu unaletwa kwako na Kenya National Highways Authority. Quality Highways, better connections.
It's a cocktail of emotions. The puns that cracks up the family. Greed that yields power and a hunger for success. Trends turn to foes. Survival for the fittest is the drive.
Who are we blackmailing?
But nothing beats the feud in a family where one disappears and another fights for the crown.
It was not supposed to go this far.
It's the desire to succeed that keeps us going, the deception that keeps us digging, and the laughter pill that keeps us living.
دريتيش يما الحاصل وانت غايبة.
Ningependa tuzungumzie aina za watu ambao hawataweza kuonja ama kunusa hata harufu ya pepo ya Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Katika sifa hizi 10 zimetajwa hapa, ukiwa nazo kutokamana na mafundisho ya Bwana Mtume sallallahu alayhi wasallam, wataingia katika moto wa Jahannam.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Judicial Service Commission has promised to construct more courts in Busia County to help the residents access judicial services easily. Now, meanwhile, residents have been urged to embrace out-of-court settlements.
While highlighting the challenges faced by Busia County residents, the Chief Magistrate Busia High Court, Edna Nyilote, pointed out the lack of judicial infrastructure as one of the impediments in accessing justice.
We've been told people are traveling far distances, like the people who come from Osieko. Osieko is very far. They have to go through Bondo, then they come to either Busia or Port Victoria. Those are the issues of accessibility.
In addressing the challenges, the Judicial Service Commission, in collaboration with the county government, promised to establish a court in every sub-county.
The county government is in discussion with the court here to provide land for construction of a court in Busia.
As the Judicial Service Commission held the county for establishing a council of elders who help in dispute resolution, the residents were encouraged to embrace out-of-court settlement.
Council of Elders have been trained, and we are well underway into rolling out alternative justice systems here in Busia County.
Busia County has 7 sub-counties, with 3 courts in Budalangi, Teso North and Teso South. Serafina Robi for Lunchtime News.
And now to matters health. Kenyatta University Teaching Research and Referral Hospital has successfully performed a rare operation that repairs the main artery without open surgery. The procedure, known as thoracic endovascular aortic repair, is the first non-invasive operation to be done in a public hospital in Kenya and treats the condition in the shortest time possible compared to a heart surgery.
Addressing the media after the operation on a female patient, Kenyatta University Teaching Research and Referral Hospital Board Chairperson Professor Olive Mugenda said the treatment is safer and cheaper compared to open heart processes where the patient spends more time in the intensive care unit and the wards.
This is done in smaller veins, but this was a major artery, so even the stent had to be imported. We had to mobilize our own doctors and even other consultants to be able to do it. They are all here behind me.
They end up spending a lot of time in ICU, and that also has a cost and financial implication for the patients and the family. This procedure is actually highly affordable in comparison to open heart surgery.
She added that the patient spent only 2 days, unlike the case in conventional treatment for 500,000 Kenya shillings, which is covered by the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF.
We are also doing minimally invasive cardiac procedures. So, for example, this one that we have done. And we are also starting kidney transplants as well within the course of the year. So we are growing as a facility.
However, Kenyans have been urged to enroll in the NHIF to ease the burden of treatment of chronic ailments for families. Kasi Chanamasha, Lunchtime News.
Now, the national government has identified 4 construction sites for the first phase of the affordable housing project in Kilifi County. Over 10,000 houses are set to be constructed in Tezo, Kibarani, Bofa and Sa Ali sites in the initial phase. The affordable housing program and the market implementation committee says Kilifi North constituency will have more projects owing to a high demand of housing in the constituency.
The maiden affordable housing project in Kilifi will see the construction of over 10,000 affordable houses in the county across 4 identified areas. The government has expressed its readiness for the project, adding that final plans before the project kicks off are in top gear.
We want to make sure that by Tuesday wakishaweka advertisement ile inafuata sasa na kuhakikisha kwamba project inaendelea vizuri. Hatuwezi kaanza projects kama serikali bila kuhakikisha kwamba kila kitu iko sawa. The 2 projects tumetengeneza iko sawa. The 4 projects tumehakikisha kwamba kila kitu. Mambo ya land ownership haitakuwa challenge.
By the end of the project, every constituency is expected to have at least 1 project, even as the county government expressed its commitment to work with the Juakali sector to deliver on the project. Over 20,000 skilled and non-skilled personnel will be required to make the implementation a success.
Tumekubaliana sasa kwamba kwenda mbele tutaharakisha kuhakikisha kwamba mpango huu ndani ya gatuzi la Kilifi pia umeweza kuanza.
Zile tenda zote za ufanyaji kazi na suppliers za vitu tukaweze kupatiwa, na sisi kama watu wa Juakali Kilifi tumekwisha jipanga. Tunayo data ya members wetu kwa kila subsector, kwa kila sub county tuko nayo. Kwa hivyo ni yule mhusika tu, wakati akija ni kukaa na yeye chini na kuweza kuanza shughuli pasipo kuna kuchelewesha.
Under the project, according to the county commissioner, 2 mini cities are expected to be constructed in Mtwapa and Mariakani, which have large parcels of land readily available. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now, learners who are set to join Form 1 this year from Nyandarua and Laikipia counties have been trained on how to cope with the challenges they may face while in high school. The groups from Kagondo and minor villages received the training under the To Prepare to High School program that aims at creating awareness of high school life, talent identification, teenage pregnancies and substance abuse, among other issues, as the learners prepare to join Form 1 on the 15th. Now, the learners appreciated the training, saying they are now well equipped to face the new life.
sana kuwaelekeza katika jinsi watakavyoshirikiana na kuingiliana na wale watakaowapata katika shule za upili.
Boy child nimepata kuwa anapitia challenges nyingi. Mojawapo ni drug and substance abuse. Hasa upande tulio leo tumepata kuwa drugs ni nyingi sana. Ukiwasikiza wanasema kuwa wangependa lile jambo lisitishwe, na kwa sababu linazamisha wanafunzi wengi.
Siko najua kuhusu drug abuse kwa sababu tukio katika shule ya msingi tulikuwa tunaambiwa tu inatumika na watu wazima ambao wamekomaa, lakini hatukuweza kuambiwa kuhusu waliokuwa shuleni. Nitajua kujihadhari na kuweza kuchagua marafiki nitapokuwa shuleni.
Still within the confines of the education sector, the Kangeso community in Bigar County has resorted to communal fundraiser groups to support their children in school fees and other basic needs. The initiative, dubbed Education for All, is meant to uplift community members with challenges raising school fees. Now, community leaders say the initiative is also meant to supplement CDF bursaries allocated in the region. A total of 61 learners are set to benefit from the project. The drive managed to equip every learner with books, pens and small shopping, and also checks of 5,000 Kenya shillings for fees.
Students, because their parents are unable to pay school fee, so we decided to come together as a group to see how we can achieve in.
We can't afford to pay all these monies that the school wants. But if there are some people or visitors who have come today to help us, we are glad.
We could be at home because of the school fee. Or those at the tertiary schools, we could not be doing our exams or tests. And this fundraising will help us in our education because we are going to continue with our academics.
It will help us to pay our school fee. The parents who are financially unstable will be able to get fee to pay for their children.
And now let's get down to business. Bigsa farmers and value chain players will have to be registered by the Food and Agricultural Authority as a regulator plans to formalize the subsector. AFA says that the crop, which is used to manufacture pharmaceutical and cosmetic products, will also have a minimum price return to protect farmers from exploitation.
Bigsa farmers in the coastal counties have welcomed Agricultural and Food Authority AFA plans to start price regulations for Bigsa to guarantee them minimum returns. The farmers say the Bigsa subsector has been overrun by cartels, reducing farmers' earnings.
Katika sheria mpya ni jina tu linabadilika na kuwa agent. Agent ni kumaanisha yule broker anatabulika kisheria. Bora tu afuate maagizo na sheria ambazo serikali imeweka ili aweze kumhudumia yule mkulima kulingana na soko ya kisasa.
Hii sheria ingekuwa imepita leo kuliko jana.
In the regulations, Bigsa farmers and value chain players will have a seat in the pricing committee.
Kama kuna kilimo kizuri kinaendelea vizuri hapa Lam County ni kilimo ya Bigsa kwa sababu haina gharama na inazaa vizuri sana.
Sheria iwekwe, sheria ya ukweli, bila utanganyifu, ikuwe ni haki. Na tuletwa hiyo tutafurahi. Watu wote watalima rangi katika la mzima.
Among other proposals, the regulator is proposing an import levy on raw Bigsa and processed Bigsa products shall be at a rate of 2% and 5% of the custom value to protect local production from cheap imports. Bigsa is a cash crop that is used in the manufacture of cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and food color. Parsa Frederick, Lunchtime News.
A section of environmentalists are asking the government to further incentivize the renewable energy subsector to combat climate change. The experts drawn from different organizations says embracing renewable energy will in the long run reduce energy costs in the country and ensure majority of Kenyans can access cheap energy.
We are sensitizing people, both youths, countries, different countries. This also includes the farmers, and also trying to sensitize also the government to be able to support their country people to embrace green energy or the use of this new technology that is not affecting our ozone layer.
We are urging them to now start embracing solar, that is clean energy, so that we will be able to try as much as possible reduce the emissions in the environment. We also know that we have other individuals, maybe they emit a lot of carbon, maybe through various activities, be it even the power generation. We need now to try as much as possible to reduce the emissions of carbon and also even methane gas, because these are the key drivers of climate change, of damaging our climate. And now if they are able to embrace clean energy, we are sure that by 2050 we are going to hit our net zero campaign of zero carbon emission.
Now, Kenyan startups are set to benefit from a 6-month climate funding initiative to enhance their revenue streams, expand their client base and optimize their operations. Now, the Accelerator program by the Pangea targets business is substantial agriculture, the circular economy, conservation technology, waste management, renewable energy and nature-based solutions.
Kenyan startups focusing on climate-related initiatives are poised to benefit from a substantial funding of up to 40 million shillings under the Climate Tech Accelerator program. The initiative, spearheaded by Pangea Accelerator, plans to select 10 businesses for a 6-month program starting from next month to August this year. The Accelerator program, being implemented in conjunction with Luthania Fund for Development Corporation and Humanitarian Aid, aims to bolster startups in sustainable agriculture, the circular economy, conservation technology, waste management, renewable energy and nature-based solutions, with the aim of enhancing their revenue streams, expand their client base and optimize their operations, as the program is aimed to the specific needs of each business. The founder of Pangea Accelerator, Jonas Tefu, underscored the significance of the program for these startups and small to medium-sized enterprises, SMEs in the climate tech space, saying the program offers not only funding opportunities but also access technical expertise and mentorship across various sectors, including nature-based solutions and ocean tech aquaculture. He further says most beneficiaries will be drawn from the East African region, which has experienced its own share of climate-related challenges, including floods and drought. Wairi Mujenga for Lunchtime News.
And on the international front, China's postal industry handled more than 160 billion parcels in 2023. The country's postal industry handled 162 billion pieces of parcels with a revenue of 1.5 trillion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 16.5% and 13.5% respectively.
The express delivery enterprises handled 132 billion pieces and earned 1.2 trillion yuan, expanding 19.5% and 14.5% respectively from the previous year. With the support and guidance of the State Post Bureau, distribution centers, warehousing facilities and transportation networks for postal express delivery enterprises were laid out rationally in 2023. The Bureau said that the industry will continue to maintain a steady upward trend in the year 2024. Meanwhile, Samsung Electronics said it expects to post a 35% drop in operating profit in the fourth quarter of 2023, missing expectations by a wide margin as a rebound in semiconductor prices likely narrowed losses in the South Korean company's biggest profit-driving segment. Samsung said that for the October-December quarter, operating profit is likely to be 2.8 trillion South Korean won, down 35% from the same period a year ago, where the firm reported an operating profit of 4.31 trillion won. Operating profit was 2.43 trillion won in the previous quarter. The profit guidance fell far short of LSEG's smart estimate of 3.7 trillion won, which is weighted more heavily towards expectations of analysts who have been consistently more accurate. Finally, Volkswagen presented its first vehicle featuring ChatGPT to be available for customers in North America and Europe from early in the second quarter of this year at the CES Electronics Trade Fair. Volkswagen said it was the first volume manufacturer to make the technology a standard feature in its compact segment cars. General Motors said last March it was working on a virtual personal assistant using AI models behind ChatGPT. Mercedes-Benz ran a test program last June enabling around 900,000 vehicles which had the automaker's MBUX system to download ChatGPT, with the view of users eventually being able to carry out tasks like making movie or restaurant reservations from behind the wheel.
The private sector is urging the government to consider private-public partnership in capitalizing the education sector. Now, Family Group Foundation Education Director General Elias Abdiaziz says adequate liquidation of the education sector will promote innovation in the country through provision of quality education.
The government has been grappling with limited resources to finance the education sector. The private sector is encouraging the government to rope in more players in the private sector to raise additional capital for education programs in the country.
We recognize the power of partnership and collaboration in achieving our educational goals. By working together with private entities like the Family Group Foundation, we can amplify our efforts to transform the educational landscape of our country.
Liquidating the education sector has been intended to increase learner skills, set and promote innovation in the country.
Through the foundation and the Tufusu, the Elimu program, we have impacted more than 1,200 beneficiaries countrywide, indeed 1,352, and we have invested over 300 million in the education sector.
Edna Murungi for Lunchtime News.
And now finally, welcome to the world of sports. African Cup of Nation holders Senegal registered a 1-0 victory over Niger in a closely contested friendly match played at the Stade May Abdoulaye Wade. In other friendlies, Ghana was held to a goalless draw by Namibia, while Guinea beat Nigeria 2-0.
Senegal came into the match as the favourite to defend the continental crown they secured 2 years ago, aiming to demonstrate their readiness in the final turn-up before the upcoming competitions. Fomose Mendy scored the lone goal for Senegal in the extra time of the second half to assure them 1-0 win over Niger. Despite the Lions of Teranga being held to a goalless draw by Togo in the World Qualifying, the African champions remain in control of their progress with a fourth consecutive clean sheet in all competitions. In other friendlies, Ghana were held to a goalless draw by Namibia, while Guinea beat Nigeria 2-0.
Now to Europe, where Manchester United proved too strong for League One side Wigan Athletic with a 2-0 victory as Erik ten Hag's side moved into the fourth round of the FA Cup. Manchester United will play either Newport County, 18th in the league, or non-league Islay, 11th in the National League, and the second lowest ranked side remaining.
And this is Godot, and this is promising. Diego Dalot fired the 12-time winners into 22nd minute lead with a fine curling strike after impressive Marcus Rashford had a shoot blocked.
Precision finish into the far corner from Diogo Dalot, and Manchester United take the lead.
Marcio Gordo failed to make a clean connection from 6 yards to waste a rare chance of an equalizer for the host before United secured the victory in the second half. Bruno Fernandes won a penalty with his foot claimed by Liam Shaw's challenge before the Portuguese midfielder got up to convert from the spot for United's second goal.
Fernandes to score, and Fernandes to surely put this cup tie to bed.
Manchester United will play either Newport County 18th in League 2 or New League Islay 11th in the National League and the second lowest ranked side remaining.
Manu again. Tickle able to say.
Indeed, we eagerly anticipated the draw of the fourth FA Cup round. Of course, Arsenal, we the mighty Gunners, we are out of that particular competition. Nonetheless, the teams that are remaining, the draw is anticipated any day from now. That marks the end of our bulletin this lovely afternoon. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor is Susan Thuku. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.